This morning you wake up and look up at the familiar night sky, only to realize the moon is gone. No asteroid, no warning, no explanation. Just emptiness. People panic, news stations flood the airwaves, and then NASA confirms the moon has been destroyed. But how? A nuclear accident in orbit? An alien weapon? Or something far more terrifying than we've ever imagined? And most importantly, what happens to Earth, to humanity, if the moon no longer exists, starting tomorrow?
What if the moon is gone?
Leave a like and subscribe to Dark Space, and ring the bell to catch the next wonders of the universe.
Earth once orbited peacefully, held steady by the moon's quiet pull, a cosmic balance we never questioned. But then, without warning, the moon vanished. No explosion, no debris, just an empty sky. In space, Earth began to wobble, ever so slightly, but enough to tip the planet into instability. Massive storms formed quickly, swirling across continents, as if gravity itself was confused. The tides no longer followed any rhythm. They rose and fell in chaos, crashing into harbors and retreating like panicked breaths. Coastal cities began to drown, not from rain, but from the ocean itself turning unpredictable. In the glass of skyscrapers, the missing moon left only empty reflections, a void that unsettled even the night. On the beaches, the sea crept inward unnaturally, dragging life and sand with it. Sea turtles, long guided by moonlight, now crawled toward glowing streets and the wrong kind of light. In the forest, nocturnal animals hesitated, frozen in silence, unsure what time even meant. Humans felt it too, sleepless, restless, as if their bodies were waiting for something that would never rise again. In bedrooms around the world, the hour 3 a.m. became haunting, clocks blinking, eyes wide open. Cities at night felt deeper, more dangerous, the darkness no longer gentle but absolute. Birds flew off course, unable to sense their ancient routes, spinning above empty fields. In the ocean, coral reefs began dying without the tide's steady movement to cleanse and cool. On land, crops shriveled as weather patterns broke apart and rain came too late or not at all. Farmers stared at their fields, at the sky, at the silence where moonlight once offered rhythm. Ancient calendars that once tracked the lunar cycle now hung useless, their pages meaningless. Even our technology seemed confused. Apps flashing, "No lunar data found," as if the moon had never existed. In hospitals, machines monitoring sleep flickered wildly, charts unreadable, rhythms lost. Families gathered around dim candlelight, speaking softly, afraid of something they couldn't name. And above it all, the Earth spun silently, alone now in the void, its moon, its oldest companion, forever gone. In just 24 hours, Earth begins to shift in ways we were never prepared for. Without the moon's stabilizing force, the planet's axis wobbles more violently, throwing weather systems into chaos. Tidal waves strike without warning, washing away entire coastlines that had stood for centuries. Cities near the sea are the first to fall. Skyscrapers crumble under the weight of water, and streets become rivers. Rescue efforts are overwhelmed, not by the storm, but by the randomness of it. There is no pattern, no tide, no way to predict what comes next. The sky, once ruled by the moon's soft pull, feels wrong now, off balance, disjointed, unnatural. Nocturnal animals lose their rhythm. Bats spiral aimlessly, owls refuse to hunt, and sea turtles simply stop laying eggs. In the cities, people toss and turn at night. Without the moon's presence, human sleep cycles break down. Some sleep all day, others can't sleep at all. Headaches, confusion, and hallucinations spread. Something ancient inside us is unraveling. Farmers report bizarre changes in their crops. Plants bloom too early or not at all. Trees begin shedding leaves out of season, unsure what time of year it is. Temperatures swing wildly. with freezing nights followed by unbearable midday heat. In just a week, food supplies begin to suffer. Transport networks dependent on tidal shipping lanes collapse. Fishermen can't predict the currents. Entire fleets go missing. The moon was never just a light in the sky. It was a system, a force, a clock, a silent guide. And now, without it, life is no longer synchronized. Everything we once relied on to stay grounded is breaking, quietly, piece by piece. One year has passed since the moon vanished, and Earth is no longer recognizable. Seasons have collapsed. Summer lasts for months, followed by sudden deep freezes. Some regions are locked in drought, while others drown in non-stop storms. Coastal cities are abandoned, left in ruins by unpredictable tidal surges. Entire nations have collapsed under resource shortages. Without the moon, ocean currents are dying, and so is marine life. Billions of fish gone, coral reefs turn to dust. Famine spreads faster than aid can arrive. Crops no longer follow seasons, and soil loses its structure. Climate zones shift unpredictably, and insects replace birds in once balanced ecosystems. Economies crumble, global trade halts, energy grids fail as extreme weather overloads them. In the dark, rumors spread of cults worshiping the moon's return, of people sacrificing animals to bring back balance. Some believe the moon was taken as punishment. Others think it never existed. Misinformation explodes online. Truth becomes fragile. Panic turns into tribalism. Governments declare martial law. Food becomes currency. Water is hoarded. Cities burn not from war, but from the chaos of collapse. People no longer ask what happened to the moon. They ask if it ever mattered. In the night, without tides, without rhythm, the world falls silent. And still, the sky remains empty. As months pass, the psychological effects of the moon's absence become more devastating than anyone expected. Without natural moonlight, serotonin levels across populations drop sharply. Depression spikes. Suicide rates reach record highs. People describe a feeling they can't explain, like the night is heavier, like time itself is unraveling. But the damage is not only chemical. Spiritual structures begin to collapse. For thousands of years, cultures aligned their festivals, beliefs, and rituals with the moon. Now, those traditions feel meaningless. Religious calendars fail. Nighttime prayers fall silent. Humanity, spiritually unanchored, begins to drift. Then, something stranger emerges. A group calling itself the Moonborn begins spreading a theory. The moon didn't explode, it was taken. They claim it was removed by a higher intelligence, an alien force watching us from beyond Saturn. Their following grows rapidly. Some see them as prophets, others as dangerous fanatics. And yet, their question echoes in the minds of millions. If the moon didn't destroy itself, then who did? A global search for answers begins. Nations reopen secret space programs. Forgotten satellites are activated. Probes are launched toward the outer solar system. But what they find is worse than silence. Something is moving out there, something massive, and it's coming closer. The moon is gone. Earth is no longer the same. The tides are broken. The sky feels wrong. And maybe this was never just about the moon. Maybe it was a warning. What would you do if one day Earth no longer had a moon?